So what the study said and what MIT has said so far is that ChatGPT users showed the lowest neural activity across 32 brain regions, and their writing performance dropped throughout the study. Hey everybody, it's Alan from Blue 7 Content, and today I want to pop in for a quick video and talk about that MIT study that recently came out that discussed what happens to our brains when using AI. Now, mind you, this was a preliminary study. There were not a whole lot of participants, but it's interesting nonetheless. So I'm going to go through some of the highlights, just some breakdown of what the study said. Of course, there will be a lot more research that comes out on this as time goes on because AI, as you know, is not going anywhere. So, for those of you who aren't aware, MIT Media Lab study had 54 adults aged 18 through 39, and they had them write essays. And there were three groups. One group was allowed to use ChatGPT, one group was allowed to use regular Google search, and one group was allowed to use nothing at all. They just wrote. Their brain engagement was measured via EEG. So, as the writers were actually doing their essays, whether it be using AI or just using Google search or using nothing at all, as they were doing it, their brain was studied. And the same group was studied over a course of several months at different levels of assistance. So what the study said and what MIT has said so far is that ChatGPT users showed the lowest neural activity across 32 brain regions, and their writing performance dropped throughout the study. Over time, ChatGPT users became increasingly dependent, resorting to copying and pasting essays at the end, meaning the users using ChatGPT weren't just using it and copying it to begin with, but over time, throughout the course of the study, that's what a lot of the users resorted to. When asked to write without AI, the ChatGPT users performed worse than those who had never used it, and the author of the study stressed that AI convenience may undermine long-term learning and critical thinking, especially for younger users. Now, of course, that is particularly alarming because, as we mentioned a minute ago, when AI is not going anywhere, and it's increasingly being used by all of us, especially younger generations that are going to be using this in schools. So I hope the studies continue. Obviously, they will. So we can figure out, how does this impact learning? And do we need to have safeguards set up so people don't lose critical thinking skills, or so they can develop them in the first place? As we said when we first started this video, these are preliminary studies, very small scale. They are not even peer reviewed, but it raises early concerns about cognitive effects. So if we apply this to what I do for a living, before I had Blue 7 Content, I was a writer. Before that, I was in education. So all of this is relevant to me. And what I kind of want to discuss is, what's the tipping point? I've been asking this since ChatGPT came out. What is the tipping point of using AI? Because I hear a lot of people say, but I use it for ideas, and I do too, right? I'm not immune to that, but I'm very cognizant when I'm using it of, when do the ideas cease to be mine? Because all AI is right now, LLMs, large language models, all they are predicting. They are using different neural networks. It gets into the weeds of how they're using word associations to figure out what word comes next. They are giant predictive models. They are very good at what they do, and they provide a lot of good information. But again, going back to that study, what's happening when we rely on it more and more? So where's that tipping point of using it for idea generation, and then we're tipping into the creative space, and then we're using it a little more, and all of a sudden the final product isn't ours anymore? It's just something to think about. So I value my writing skills, I value my critical thinking skills, and I don't want us as a society to lose those skills over time. I'm making a deliberate attempt right now in my daily life to engage in deeper learning. And ironically enough, I'm actually using AI to do it. And I'm using AI in a way that I think helps enhance, what I'm learning. I want to learn more, so I have a great set of headphones that I have on. and I turn them on and I activate one of the AI assistants that I actually have and pay for, and I talk to it about what I'm reading or what I'm watching as I'm learning something new because it we really do have all of this information that's easily accessible now. Like it or not, AI has, LLMs have scraped the web. They have repositories of knowledge. You just have to ask them and tap into it, and of course, verify. So I talk to it when I'm learning something new that I might not understand. I ask the AI to explain it to me and then explain it even better if I still don't quite get it. And I chat with it. And it is an amazing tool to chat with to get your ideas out. It's a little awkward at first. I was doing something with it a couple months ago and I sneezed and it said, bless you. So I'm a little weird, but it's still pretty cool. So anyway, I just wanted to come in and talk about that MIT study, talk to you a little bit about how I'm using AI right now. If you have any thoughts on the study, please leave them below and we'll engage in conversation. As always, you can find me over on LinkedIn. I'm always there. I'm going to put the link to the article in the description of the video below. And if, last request, you wouldn't mind, like and subscribe to this channel. We don't have a lot of followers right now. We're just getting started, but we're going to be here talking about things related to our business, Blue 7 content, and the legal field, and just business growth in general. And I think a lot of that revolves around AI, whether we like it or not right now. So everybody, thank you for stopping by. Have a great day, and we'll see you again.